Cowboys have had a few days to refresh and reflect on their 2-7 start to the season. Now, it's time to start stacking wins. Welcome into Cowboys Rewind. I'm Dani Sureck. The Cowboys will face the Vikings, who are on a roll with 3 straight wins. On the other hand, Dallas is looking to pick up some steam themselves to stay competitive in the division. The Cowboys will see the return of quarterback Andy Dalton. He sustained a concussion a month ago and then was immediately put onto the COVID-19 reserve list. Dalton has now been cleared to play and practice all week ahead of being the starter Sunday afternoon against Minnesota. Head coach Mike McCarthy says the few days off for the bye week was a nice break. Now it's time to get back on track.
Coach, first off, I just want to ask you, getting the players back in here the first of the week on Monday, you notice an extra bounce in their step that maybe a little refreshed after having a week off?
Oh, definitely. I think the week off was excellent for the football team. I know that the players enjoyed it. I've always found that the bye week is so important. And frankly, when the schedule comes out each and every year, that's probably one of the first things I look at because you're always trying to chart, the different thresholds in every regular season. So, 9 straight weeks of football, especially in the climate that we've been operating in, it's been a rough road. So I think our players really benefited from the time away.
And there's a great opportunity that lies ahead for this team, even with the 2-7 record, starting with this game against the Vikings, who have gotten on a little bit of a roll here, having won 3 straight games. And I guess on paper, when you look at the Vikings on offense, you look at Dalvin Cook and what they have been able to do in the run game, it's pretty impressive.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's a dynamic running back, and I think he's really taken his game to the next level. So, I mean, he's clearly our focal point. Number one focal point going into the game. I like the way they're playing. On offense, they've been really committed to the 2-back run game, and it has really served them well since their bye week. So, really, throughout their whole football team, this is a team that's playing with a lot more confidence than it was early in the season. They went through a tough injury phase, and they've bounced back very well. And I was impressed with them on Monday Night Football against Chicago.
You don't see very many teams in this league using a fullback as much as the Vikings do. I think C.J. Ham, the fullback, had 35 snaps in the game against Chicago. What are you seeing, though, the improvement in the run defense from your defense here since the Cleveland game going back last month?
Well, I mean, that's a great comparable because the systems are very similar. You have the wide zone, the inside zone, and Gary Kubiak's done it at such a high level forever in this league. So, and that will be the challenge. We anticipate that, obviously, the run game in the boots and keeps, the action game that comes off of that. So, our run defense really took a step forward the last 2 weeks, but we need to take a big step in Minneapolis on Sunday.
Kirk Cousins, a guy, what leaps off the page, the stat sheet to me when I look at the Vikings as far as their pass game goes is 8.8 yards an attempt to lead the league. And you talk about the way they're throwing the ball off that run game, they are going downfield with the football.
Oh, definitely. I mean, their movement pass game is really good. And obviously benefits from the excellent run game, but their ability to push the ball down the field. They have a dynamic receiving group, so it's a team that's really picked up, and you can see they've really come into comfort with the way they're playing, particularly the last 3 games.
And of course, they got the rookie receiver in Justin Jefferson out of LSU, averaging 18 yards a catch, and Adam Thielen. How big is it, though, getting Cheeto Awuzie back, and how much do you think Cheeto benefited from having the extra week to get back?
It's great to have him back, number one, and I think he clearly benefited from the extra week. So looking forward to getting through the practice structure throughout the week, and it's great to have him out there.
You can watch the Mike McCarthy Show Saturday nights at 11:30 on CBS 11. Cornerback Chidobe Awuzie will be making his return for the first time in 9 weeks after injuring his hamstring in Week 2 against the Falcons. Awuzie's return is good timing since rookie cornerback Trayvon Diggs fractured his foot 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh. Diggs is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Dallas will have to be on their A-game to prevent Minnesota's running back from cooking up a storm. What makes Minnesota's offense so formidable? We answer that next.
Cowboys Rewind is brought to you by AT&T. Academy, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
It will be no easy feat for the Cowboys defense finding a way to contain running back Dalvin Cook. He's the league's leader in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and rushing first downs. Cook plays a large part as to why the Vikings are averaging 5.2 yards per carry. For comparison, the Cowboys defense is allowing an average of 5 yards per carry. Former player and scout Bucky Brooks went on the Break podcast this week and said that this will be the biggest challenge yet for the Cowboys defense. Here's how Brooks says the Cowboys can properly prepare for the rushing and passing threats on the Vikings offense.
Minnesota right now is second in rushing yards per attempt at 5.2 yards per attempt. Chicago held Cook to only 3.2 yard average. What did they do, along with Indianapolis in week 2, what did they do that other teams have not been able to do when it comes to stopping the run of Minnesota?
Well, those teams are really good against the run. Those teams are really sound defenses. They do a pretty good job of winning the line of scrimmage. For the Cowboys, this would be the biggest test that they've had. This would go back to what the Cleveland Browns did because they're similar systems. And so this would be a test of the physicality, the effort, the discipline, all those things that have kind of been murmured about throughout the course of the season. Well, this is the exam to see how far they've made, how much progress they've made. The problem that you have when you're defending the Minnesota Vikings is you have a system that is very sound. It is a system where the offensive line, they move like elephants on parade. So they're all in unison, they're working together, and they are trying to get a push horizontally. And then you have a running back in Dalvin Cook who is one of the best in the business at being able to be a one-cut runner. When he sees the crease, he attacks it, and he has juice and vision and balance and body control, and he's just a special player. And so it's the perfect marriage between player and system. And if you're not on your P's and Q's that game, he will run for 200 yards because they will give it to him. They will feed him. They are doing everything that Cowboys fans talk about doing with Zeke. Give it to him 20 times. Well, if you don't stop him, he's going to get it 25 times.
Bucky, we lost Trevon Diggs. We all know that, and we know that Cheeto is coming back, but we still don't know what he's going to look like on the field. I'm curious about your assessment between the secondary and their passing game and what they can do over there with their receivers.
Well, the secondary has played better of late, and the reason they played better is because they've made the number one priority is not allow the ball to fly over their head. Keep the ball in front, limit the big plays, rally and tackle, and live to fight another down. And as simple as that sounds, it is the most effective way to keep people from scoring points, because as the field gets condensed and tighter, now you are able to use the sideline and the end zone as extra defenders, and it works in your advantage. The problem when you face the Minnesota Vikings is this. Everyone knows that Dalvin Cook is the guy, and you have to put 8 in the box, maybe 9 in the box to slow him down. Well, they want to throw play-action passes. They want to go max protect, and they're going to let their 2 wide receivers, Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, go to work. And what the Minnesota Vikings have done is they've invested in wide receivers who are craftsmen, who are outstanding route runners, and if you give them time, they will put cornerbacks in the blender. And that is what we're seeing. Adam Thielen is tied for first with 9 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson leads all rookies in receiving yards. He has 4 100-yard days. And if you are unable to cover them one-on-one from a skill standpoint, they will go bonkers. And so the dilemma is, how much do I sell out to stop Dalvin Cook? And can I sell out while being good enough to deal with these 2 artists that are on the perimeter, creating separation and getting wide open? It's a challenge, and it's a conundrum that Mike Nolan has to come in with a plan on how do I want to defend these 2 different options that they can go with.
You can listen live to the Break podcast weekdays at 11:30 on DallasCowboys.com. The bye week allowed the Cowboys to do some self-scouting. The defense knows they can and need to be better. Stick around. Defensive end Demarcus Lawrence tells us why he's confident the Cowboys defense will show up against the Vikings right after this. Welcome back to Cowboys Rewind. It'll be no surprise to see the Vikings get the run game going early with prolific running back Dalvin Cook. It's no secret the Cowboys defense has struggled for most of the year with their run defense. In their 2 games prior to the bye week, the Cowboys did make some improvements on defense, specifically in Week 9 against the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, where the Cowboys held the lead until the final 2 minutes. Dallas has had some wrinkles to work through with this new defensive scheme, and defensive end Demarcus Lawrence doesn't want people getting the wrong impression. He says just because the defense has had a few bad games does not mean they're a bad team.
They do a great job getting out the ball, giving Dalvin Cook a lot of space to, cut back, open up lanes, and it's all about, wrapping up and tackling them and getting them down to the ground. I mean, he's playing sensational for the last 2 years, and just being able to watch film on him, he'll be a great challenge for us.
Where have you guys improved with your run defense in the last 2 games?
You say where did we improve?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we improved just the mindset about attacking and not letting people attack us. And, that's really the main thing is, getting off the rock, setting good edges, and don't let the ball beat you outside. So I feel like we're doing a better job holding ourselves accountable and making plays.
Demarcus, how's the energy in practice this week, and do you think the bye week was a helpful reset for you?
Oh, most definitely. Just to rejuvenate the legs, get your body back underneath you is great. But it also, can harm you too if you're not, focused on the task at hand. It can, cause you to come back being lazy about, your job. So I feel like, our guys came back eager and ready to work. More focused than I've seen them all year, and just ready to come and hit and, play with attitude.
When you look at your record, are you still surprised that you're still in this thing for the division?
No, I'm not surprised. First thing first, don't ever get this twisted. We're a good team, and it's all about winning games at the end of the day. But we're a good team, and seeing how other people are playing and stuff, I don't think we're far behind at all. And I feel like we deserve to still be in this thing, and we can make a pretty good run.
The Vikings have the 5th most rushing yards in the league, just about 50 shy of the Browns, who sit in 4th. Demarcus Lawrence mentioned not wanting a repeat of when the Cowboys played the Browns in Week 4, where Cleveland rushed for more than 300 yards. And that was without their star running back Nick Chubb, who left the game early with a knee injury. Don't go anywhere. More on the Cowboys-Vikings matchup and how the Cowboys can turn around their season right after this. Despite their 2-7 record, the Cowboys are still in the playoff hunt, all thanks to a struggling NFC East. The Eagles sit in first with a 3-5-1 record. There's a total of 10 wins in the division through the first 10 weeks. If the Cowboys can start stringing wins together, there's a chance playoffs could be in their future. It all starts this week up in Minnesota against the Vikings Sunday afternoon. In this week's Mick Shots podcast, Bill Jones, Mickey Spagnola, and former Cowboys defensive back Everson Walls share some key points about this Cowboys-Vikings matchup and how the Cowboys can get their season back on track.
That's probably priority number 1 for the Cowboys. They got to shut down the chef.
Well,
that's his nickname, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Okay.
Delvin the Chef Cook.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm sorry, I blanked out a little bit there, Spags.
I did too.
I'm glad you explained that to me because I had no connection.
I figured I better throw in the Cook so you guys
it
get it,
fit
right?
with Dalvin, but okay.
And my son's a chef, so I should have known. It's just you caught me off guard.
But
there.
then, and one of the
when
things
you start thinking about this offense, though, Spags, this is something that the Browns were successful with. I'm surprised other teams didn't try it on us after what they saw Cleveland doing. I would imagine they just didn't want to come out of their own game plan, figuring that would be their own recipe for defeat if they were to change their game plan just to suit what they saw was successful by other teams. This is gonna be a tough game. Well, first of all, it's gonna be tough for us to try and predict, because as much as I'm trying to pull for the Cowboys, I have to see that they're gonna be successful and have made the adapted to what they saw in Cleveland. Obviously, they hadn't seen that offense since. So the last time they did see it, you're looking at almost 300 yards rushing.
No, it was
So now you got the
307.
I'm sorry, you're looking at over 300 yards
Yes.
rushing. So when you so when you think of the leading rusher coming in here, I'm very nervous about this, but also I'm kind of excited to see just what kind of adjustments the Cowboys coaching staff is going to make. This is going to be an indictment on them as much as it is on the players.
Well, and by the way, Mike Zimmer was asked about, do you take a look at what happened with Cleveland? And he said, "Oh yeah." He goes, we'll look at that, but that's not the only thing we'll look at. But obviously, they kind of ran similar to what the Vikings do now. So, yeah, he said they'd take a serious look at why Cleveland was able to run for 307 yards. But remember,
if we take the end around, if we take the end around out of it, then you
Right.
don't really have 300.
Right, and
Yeah, there was 260 instead.
I'm just really just throwing darts, man.
Then that's like a couple of weeks later, the Arizona game, you take the quarterback run out, and the Cardinals didn't run for as many against them either.
or the last 69-yard touchdown.
The 80-yard drive, the 80
That's
yard.
right, the Kenyon Drake at the end, when it was garbage time.
And they probably didn't throw for as much if you take out the 80-yard touchdown pass to Kirk, right? So
See, if you just look at it the way we look at it, the Cowboys have a great year going. Yeah, defense.
That's right. If you got rid of the turnovers,
The Mixed Shots podcast always provides a good laugh. You can tune in and laugh with them weekdays at 1:30 in the afternoon on DallasCowboys.com. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and right after this, we give you an exclusive look at how the Cowboys are getting into the giving spirit. Stay with us. Thanksgiving and the Dallas Cowboys go hand in hand. Prior to playing on the holiday, they give back to their local communities. The Cowboys honored a long-standing tradition of providing families with food for Thanksgiving. This year, Chief Brand Officer Charlotte Jones was joined by Cowboys alumni at a drive-through distribution site, providing food to families for the holiday.
Happy Thanksgiving! Normally we have our players out here that are feeding hot meals to individuals that are either homeless, have no shelter, or just looking for a hot meal.
Because of the pandemic, we've had to serve differently, and today we're doing a drive-through food pantry or a drive-through Thanksgiving meal for those in the community.
We're actually out here with our alumni, with Charles Haley and Darren Woodson and Tony Casillas and George Teague. And we are putting boxes and turkeys into cars and feeding families.
Salvation Army has always been a part of my makeup, and I've always felt like if there's anything I can do to give back, because they gave so much to myself and to the community in which I grew up. That's the reason why I'm here.
This is real life. This is where it all happens. And I'll tell you, when I pulled in, it was just amazing. It was touching. It became emotional really quickly just seeing the cars lined up.
We're certainly able to bring a few smiles to people's faces, and thanks to Albertsons Tom Thumb, we've got a lot of turkeys and a lot of stuffing that we're giving away.
Happy Thanksgiving! Hey, happy Thanksgiving!
Thank you. The partnership between Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Salvation Army all coming together is really an incredible thing to be a part of.
You know, we're entering our 24th year in partnership with the Salvation Army, and we have certainly learned through the decades the value of the Salvation Army in our community, and we are just happy to be able to partner with them, bring them a little inspiration as they work so hard to help so many, and just celebrate a great holiday and bring joy to people's faces.
By partnering with the Dallas Cowboys and Albertsons Tom Thumb and those who are here today to help us volunteer and make this distribution, we're able to help those in need this Thanksgiving season. So on behalf of those being served, I want to say a word of thank you.
The Cowboys and Vikings will kick off Sunday afternoon at 3:25 from U.S. Bank Stadium. Be sure to tune into Cowboys pregame live at 2 p.m. That'll give you an in-depth analysis on both teams and give you a great preview of what you can expect to see in this Cowboys-Vikings matchup. That starts at 2 p.m. and you can watch it on all Dallas Cowboys social platforms. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful you tune in to Cowboys Rewind every week. Until next time, I'm Dani Sureck.
Cowboys Rewind was brought to you by AT&T, SWBC Mortgage, financial solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit swbc.com. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. Want to tour AT&T Stadium? For more information, call 817-892-TOUR or visit dallascowboys.com/tours.